gorgeous! Today I am doing a makeup tutorial on this look. I had some people ask if I could do an all drugstore tutorial, so I thought, why not? I love the way this came out. It's so pretty. I'm calling it like a sultry look because although it's a tiny bit smoky, I just feel like the cooler tones just give it a little bit of I don't even know how to explain it, but it just makes it look a little bit more sultry. And instead of doing a wing liner, I just kind of smoked out the lower lash line with a little bit of black shadow, so it gives it just a little bit more dimension. I paired it with a really sort of glowy, bronzy skin and a pale nude lip, just because I don't like clashing sort of a smokier eye with a bolder lip. That's preference, but of course you can use 1,000,001 colors on the lips. Let me know if you've enjoyed this, and let me know what kind of looks you want to see next. I was thinking of doing a bridesmaid makeup tutorial because I did a bridal one last year that I love and so many of you guys loved, but I was thinking about doing a bridesmaid makeup tutorial. So let me know if you're interested in that and what else you want to see coming up. I kind of feel like I've been on a roll, so I feel really good about that. So, and I also wore my hair straight today, which doesn't happen often because I have layers in my hair and it's 90 degrees outside, so if I were to walk outside like this, all of my top layers would curl up and frizz and it would be like about to here, like just short, and then it was just a mess. So it's gonna go up in just a few minutes, but I did wear it straight for you today and I kind of dig it. I just wish it would stay this way, but I know it won't. Anyway, before I keep rambling on and on and on, let's get in with the tutorial. Okie dokie. Now, what I have here is a paint pot. It's a color tattoo from Maybelline in the color Black Orchid, and I'm using a domed brush from Real Techniques just to buff this onto my eyelid. And I like to apply a couple layers just to intensify the color to the intensity that I like it. And then I'm just taking a fluffy brush with nothing on it, and I'm just buffing it in the crease. Then I'm going to take Nutty from Wet n Wild, one of my favorite colors ever, with a flat shader brush, and I'm just gonna pack this on. And again, you can just pack on the color like as many layers as you want until you get the intensity you like. I think I packed this on like 4 or 5 times, but this is just one of my favorite eyeshadows of all time. I cannot even tell you how many of these I've used over the years. It's just, it's one of my favorites. Okay, I'm going in with the Nudes palette, whatever it's called, from Maybelline, with that light gray color, and then using that fluffy brush just to buff it into the crease. This is going to be just a sort of transitional color. Now, this palette is not really that pigmented, so you really have to work the color, and you really have to blend, 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 because the colors can be a bit patchy. So I applied a couple of layers and just kept buffing it in. Then with an angled brush and taking the black color from this palette. Now, I'm not exaggerating when I tell you I had to do about, I would say, 8 or 9 layers of this. Basically what I'm doing is I'm drawing on a wing shape with the eyeshadow. Now, I didn't want to do like a liquid liner or gel liner. I wanted to do an eyeshadow so I could just blend it out, and it gives me a softer, smokier effect instead of like a sharp, thick line. But you can see I'm going over it and over and over it to sort of intensify the color. And then I'm taking a MAC brush. You can use any brush you like, and just running it over that liner just to kind of soften it a little bit and smoke it out. And then I also like to take some of that into the outer corner just to smoke it out, and I'm going over it again to intensify. So what I'm doing is I'm applying some, buffing it out, applying some, buffing it out until I get my desired what is the word I'm trying to think of here? Come to me. Thickness, not thickness, no, that's not what I'm talking about. My desired color. Forgive me, I'm having brain issues right now. And then I'm taking that light color and I'm going to apply that as my brow bone color. I really wish I used a different one, a different highlighter, because this is not good at all. But I was trying to stick to just, minimal shadows so that you don't have to go out and buy 10 different kinds. But as you can see, this really did nothing because there's nothing on the palette at all. Okay, and then I am just curling my lashes, just using my eyelash curler. I don't like to sort of pump it up too many times. I like to do just a little bit because I was afraid that my eyelashes are gonna get pulled out. And then I'm taking my CoverGirl Lash Blast. Is that what it's called? Yeah, anyway, and applying a coat of that. And I'm gonna go in with some falsies, and these are the Ardell Demi Wispies. Pop a little bit of glue on. Of course, measure them first to make sure they fit your eye, and then just stick them on like so. Let the glue get tacky for a few minutes. It just definitely helps them stay in place once you put them on instead of sliding all over the place. And then using the opposite end of the tweezer, as you can see, I pushed it into my lashes so that they stick. And then I'm taking a makeup remover wipe and just removing any excess that's kind of come down too far or any fallout from underneath my eyes. And then we're gonna move on to face. I'm gonna use my Vitale Miracle Blur Moisture. This is kind of like a moisturizing primer. I really like it, although for a drugstore item, it's quite pricey, and I don't love that, but it works pretty good. And then I'm gonna buff this in using a brush. You can certainly use something different, but I like to use the brush. And then I'm gonna take my L'Oreal, is that L'Oreal? It's a Dream Magic Nude Liquid Powder Foundation in the color 328 Sun Beige, and I'm gonna just buff this into the skin, but I first like to just put it on a makeup palette and then just kind of brush it on. I just don't like having makeup on my fingers. It just drives me nuts, so I try not to really use it with my hands. And I'm just buffing this in with a Real Techniques buffing brush. This is one of my favorite foundations. I feel like it gives you such great coverage while still feeling really lightweight. And then using my Maybelline Fit Me concealer in medium and sand. The medium has like salmon-y undertones, so it's really nice, and it doesn't, it helps kind of conceal those dark circles. And then I'm taking the sand color, which is a lighter color, and this is going to be for highlighting. And I'm using that to highlight. So just going to be under the eyes and the chin and the forehead and all the places you'd like to highlight. And then use whatever you like in terms of what you like to blend this out with. I know some people like to use a beauty blender. Some people like to use different brushes. I like to use my foundation brush so that it because it's got a little bit of foundation on it, it makes it blend easier, I think. And then using my Reserve Your Cabana from Wet n Wild, I'm setting everything into place. I'm going to do my under eyes, and then I like to switch out to a bigger brush to do the rest of my face. I love this powder. I feel like this compares to a high-end powder in the way it feels and in the way it makes my skin look. I love it. And then using my True Match powder in Cappuccino, this is going to be my bronzer, like my matte bronzer to sort of contour a little bit. I'm going to go on the sides of the cheeks, the forehead, you know, the usual places we contour because we are all obsessed with contouring. So I'm going to apply some of that on, and I'm really going to make sure to buff out any harsh edges. Make sure you make that weird face when you do it so that I don't feel so alone in this. And then I'm going to take the Sun and Bronze from NYC, and I am just going to use this to warm up my face a little tiny bit, because sometimes when you've got some natural color to your skin, when you've got a little bit of a tan, it helps if you use something to warm up your skin in terms of a bronzer and not just use a matte one. And I'm taking some powder. This is just some translucent powder, and with a little makeup sponge. And this is called baking or cooking. By the way, can we just talk about my hair for a second? What in the world? Not the best hair day, but anyway, this is sort of gonna clean up underneath the cheekbones and make that look a little bit sharper. And then I'm taking Mosaic blush from NYX, and I'll leave the names to everything down below. And I'm just applying this onto my cheekbones, and I love this blush. It's so good. And then I'm gonna use the translucent pearl powder from Physicians Formula as my highlighter on the cheekbones, down the bridge of the nose, and the Cupid's bow, and a little bit above the brow. I feel like it just lifts the brow when the sun hits it. Then going back in with that black shadow and a pencil brush, and just running that ever so lightly underneath my lower lash line. I didn't want to do this too smoky. I didn't want to do it too dark, because this is like a daytime sultry smoky eye, and I didn't, you know, I was actually wearing this out in public, so I don't like to do it too dark. And then I'm taking that Nutty and I'm going over top of it just to soften it a little tiny bit, because again, I didn't want it to be too sharp, too strong, too harsh, too dark, because I didn't want people at the grocery store thinking I was nuts. And then taking that black shadow and going over top of the lash band just to conceal any glue. Although the glue does dry clear, I always like to do this. And I take my Marbadesque spray my face. It just makes everything, it makes all those powders, don't eat it though, because it doesn't taste good. Makes all those powders kind of blend into one, and then I brush out that translucent powder. You can see it gives you that better definition underneath the cheekbone area. Okie dokie, artichoke, I look confused. I'm grabbing some of my mascara and just touching my lashes so that they blend in with my real lashes, and then I'm gonna pop a little bit of that on the lower lashes as well. Not a whole lot. I happen to have really long lower lashes, and if I put too much mascara, they're so long that they touch underneath my lashes, and it just leaves a spot. And I'm filling in my lips. I'm sorry you can't see this well, but I always seem to make this mistake. I'm just filling in my lips and filling it in with the LA Girl lip pencil in nude cream. And I'm just gonna fill the whole thing in because that's just how I roll. And then I'm going to just go over top of that with the NYX Simply Nude lip cream in the color Peaches. And I kind of like to focus this right in the center. And as you can see, I'm kind of tapping it and blending my lips together because I don't want it to be too opaque, because it can be quite opaque. And then I'm taking that Baby's Breath lip gloss from Flower Cosmetics and going over top of it. So this is the finished look. I hope you like it. I hope that you found it helpful. Let me know what you want to see next. I love you. And here's a close-up shot. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.